stay on target. I'm going to try. I have a couple ideas I want to convey to the viewing public, and I'm going to try to not go off on tangents, although they may seem like tangents. First off, I have some stuff out here. I'm going to get some of this stuff out of the way. I should do something with the stuff in the back there because it is just taking up a lot of space. But that's going to be an overhaul for 2025 where I clean up this. To start, because a friend of mine asked for some M-Tron / other parts and pieces. So I decided to, just like I've been doing for everything else, like that. Woohoo! Hey, look at all those. I did it for red. And basically red is just M-Tron. I mean, I got other printed parts but I don't think there's hardly any other parts and the space themes that are printed red parts. So this is, I mean, I honestly don't know how I have so many spares, especially of the front the little that came in the smallest one in the Rover, and it is odd that I have that many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 of them. And of course, I reconstituted all my M-Tron sets that I had, including 2 Megacore magnetizers. Of course, they didn't come with these. This is just used lots. And I picked up 4 over at Jamie's store. So, and I did, and I think I mentioned this, right? Well, I'll mention it again, just in case you knew. There was a lots for sale a couple years back. A lot for sale in Burlington saying $50 for this bin. I don't know what the price was, but it was X amount of money for this bin right here. And I said, woo! Because it had this right on top, one of these right on top. And I go, and it was a pretty big bin, and I saw other spacey look type parts in there. So I go over there. And I said, "Oh!" And then she gives me a bin, and I'm going, "This isn't there. I don't see this piece." Oh, she means I just have this barrel over here, basically this big bin, this big tote, and I just scoop it out. I said, "No. I came here specifically because your advert said $50 for this bin. Basically, it didn't say it was just a random bin. This bin." Oh, well, I didn't. Look, lady, love you, but I'm not interested in just basic bricks because that's all that was in the bin that she gave me. And I saw this, that, and the other thing. And she goes, oh. And she went away and she came back. And I will say the bin she gave me eventually was not the bin that was in the advert, but the bin that she did give me did come with these and the other parts that I saw in the bin, in the picture. So again, no hard feelings. And the fact that she corrected it was really nice. And even if she didn't, I would have said, "Have a nice day," and walked away with no, that person. Because life's too short to, look what I got. There's a lot of dampness here. It's not snowy. It's above zero. So all the snow melted, and it's just, the air is just damp, which is whatever. We just came in from outside. I excuse me, I'm at the point now in my life where I'm trying, really honest to goodness, trying not to get my knickers in a knot, to get out of sorts, to get riled up, to get whatever, because life is short. Again, I'm perfectly healthy. Life is short, and I just don't want to invest emotional energy into stuff that I just don't really care about. So that said, I got it. But again, I have a whole bunch of M-Tron stuff. And so my friend wanted an M-Tron tile, and this guy here, and the classic space 2x3x4, and some of these pieces. So I'm gonna put that in the mail and ship that off. By the time this video is released, I'm hoping to have it in the mail, because I think this is going to be released in 2025 and I'm still in 2024. So you guys are a year ahead of me right now. So I got that right. That's why I got those out. So put those away. So that's point 1 of what I wanted to talk about. Point 2 of what I wanted to talk about is a really cute little thing. So I'm gonna improvise this, and I think I already talked about this maybe because I made a few videos that I just deleted because they went on for an hour, and I said nobody needs to listen to that and delete. So I'm not sure if I talked about this, but I went and got my hair cut a while back, like a couple of days, maybe over a week ago. I can't remember. Everything's a blur. Everything blends in one day to the next. And I found out that my hairstylist, my barber, basically his barber, also liked Lego. And at that point of time, when I found out, and Sandy was in the room, when I found out that she liked Lego, I was being a little flippant, a little sarcastic. Oh, who likes Lego? Who would like Lego? Because I just assumed that she knew that I'm a huge fan. And she goes, "Oh, you don't like Lego?" And then Sandy piped up, "Of course he loves Lego. Like, we thought you knew." And so I felt a little bad about being sarcastic about my love of this hobby. And again, I've been sarcastic before, and I'm not above being sarcastic again. But I should have, because she's a very genuinely nice, sweet, decent person. She doesn't deserve sarcasm. She was being very genuine when she says, "I love Lego and building Lego sets," and I should have just been enthusiastic and overjoyed about it. So I remember that, and that was just a couple weeks ago, or less than a couple weeks ago. So I was, Sandy and I, because I happen to have between Christmas and New Year's off for work. So Sandy and I, after cleaning up the house and puttering around, we decided to do our circuit of Value Villages today on a Monday. Again, before the new year. Just because we're tired of sitting at home. And we just wanted a break because Christmas has been stupid busy. We've been doing a lot of visiting friends, family, blah, blah, parties, stuff. Preparation of food and stuffs. And we're doing New Year's Eve here. So that's going to be fun tomorrow night. But anyway, so Sandy and I were driving around. We wanted to just relax for a day. Like, today was a nothing day. There was nothing planned. There's nothing whatever. Don't have to go visit folks. Don't have to go visit friends. Don't have any parties to get to or get ready for. So we did some laundry. We did cleaning in the house. The Lego room was already done. So we were, let's go visit the Value Villages that we usually do on a Saturday. On any given Saturday. And so we hopped in the car and we drove up to the Ancaster Valley Village, and then from the Ancaster Village we drive over to the Waterdown Valley Village, and from the Waterdown Valley Village we just drive straight down to Appleby and hit the Burlington big new Valley Village. We usually do not stop in on the Valley Village on Fairview and Burlington because it is kind of old and hard to get into, hard to get out of in a parking lot, and it's usually I have purchased Lego there before. I will say that I have purchased Lego at that Valley Village before, but we haven't been there. And as I say, it's a difficult place to get in and out of because the road is busy all the time, and it's a little rundown in our estimation. And we stop by ours all the time, so it's just on any given night after work, after dinner, we'll go over to our Valley Village. So we're there, I would say, on average once every 2 weeks. So we went out to the one in Welland years ago, and that was fun. And the one in Upper Wentworth, we usually skip that one. Although, and I'm going to make videos about it because I got a couple baggies there from that Valley Village. The one time we went in there, it was just, there's 20 bags, big bags at $20 each. And so it's going to be $400. And I said, I'm not paying $400. But even with the 20% coupon, I've been whatever, 300 and whatever. But it was all 80s and 90s, maybe late 70s bricks. And I said, ooh, but I grabbed 2 bags out of the 20 that I saw that I said, oh, these are for me. And I'm going to make a video about those. Anyway, so today we drove to Ancaster, and we drove to Waterdown, and then we drove to Appleby. The Ancaster Valley Village, they keep their Lego, I'm getting mixed up. Ancaster we hit first. Let's get them mixed up. Ancaster only had, so Ancaster only had 2 racers in the cabinet, and so I didn't buy them. but there was Lego there. And then we went to the Waterdown one. And now the Waterdown, they keep all the, I might be getting those mixed up. One of those is Encash, one is Waterdown, no, whatever. They keep all the Lego behind the counter in little bags like this, and or with pieces in it, instead of just minifigs. And so you have to get somebody to come over to the display area, and then you ask for all the bags of Lego, and they bring over 15, 20 bags off the little cookies, and then you sit there and you say, I want this one, don't want that one, blah blah. Overall, I find it to be a pain to do that, but that's the way they do it. Like our Valley Village here in Stony Creek, the rare case there's Lego in the display case where you have to call somebody over, but most of the time Lego's in the back wall. So just hanging there with the rest of the toys, and so it's easy. Oh, and I look, and one in Applebee's, same thing. They leave all the Lego on the floor. But anyway, so I'm in either Ancaster or Waterdown, and I'm asking the person behind the showcase person, and then she's bringing me the bags of Lego. And there's like 5 or 6 bags of minifigs, which is always whatever. And then there's like 4 or 5 bags of regular brick. And I'm looking at the regular brick as all friends and or light play and or whatever. I'm not really interested in left of them. And the rest of the bags, but this one, were newer minifigs from the 2000s and 2010s, basically. There's a friend's bag. And I mentioned before that the Value Village bags, I can't remember which one, they were putting 4 minifigs in a bag, and they were asking like $19.99 or something. Some outrageously stupid number for 4 minifigs. And they were well-used minifigs. And I said, my love affair for Valley Village was on that one. So I was mildly surprised today when I got this one for $4.99 with the 20% discount, whatever that works out to be. And yes, there's only 2 minifigs in here, but that's $2.50 each. Again, minus 20%. The rest of the figs there were newer, as I say, but they had 2 classic space, well, 1 classic space and 1, we'll get into it in a sec. So I'm opening it here live on TV, but we already know what's in them. Holy moly, get out here. So 1 white minifig, which is not even a surprise that the logo's basically gone, but the chin strap is solid and the white is remarkably good. The logo's gone, but that's not a surprise. And it came with this piece. Yay! So again, bonus. They usually don't have pieces like that. And that's why I was hoping it would be in the other bags, because if I have this old light gray landing strut here, why where's the rest of it, right? Because this has got to be more classic space pieces, but somebody probably already bought it. And it came with this guy. And yes, he's a mishmash, but look at the logo. It is mint. Absolutely mint. A mint Futuron torso, which I can use. so 2 space guys. I do have to reconstitute the Futuron guy, but I would anyway. And for $5 minus 20%, I'm not going to complain about that. But the icing, the piece de la resistance, the icing on the cake. I asked for the Lego to come out. The person from the display area comes in, she brings the Lego over me, and I'm looking at 1 bag at a time, and I'm putting back on the counter, and this guy walks up right next to me, and he starts picking up the bags to look at them, because I'm not interested in those ones. And he's looking at them. And we're not talking for like 3 or 4 minutes, because I'm looking at the bag Lego. He's looking at it. And all of a sudden I said, are you a fan or something? I don't know how the conversation actually started. He goes, oh, and he's a fan. And he's basically a Lego Star Wars fan, and a lot of the fandom of Lego these days has to revolve around the Star Wars IP, and there's just a lot of people out there that love Lego Star Wars. They buy literally all the sets, and this is one such person. He was a lot younger than me, but still an adult, and we started talking about trying to find used Lego and how expensive it is to find, and how hard it is to find anything. And he says, like, he comes to Valley Village a little bit, and blah blah blah. And so we're talking, and I say, yeah, and we started talking about Facebook Marketplace, because that's where lately, overall, 80% of my lots last year were from Marketplace, as opposed to anywhere else. I think I got one eBay lot last year, or this year, that's going to end tomorrow. But 80% from Marketplace, 20% from Value Village. And he said the same, because Marketplace seems to be, if you look hard enough and long enough, you're going to find some deals. And again, my friends out there in the world keep on sending me links, which is my favorite thing, when I get a ping on my messenger saying, hey Dave, there's a classic space lot in your area. And sometimes I've seen it, sometimes I haven't, but I even got one last week, which I had seen before, and I thought it was a little expensive. I'm not saying I regret it now, but I should have gotten it. It was $150 for a 924 plus miscellaneous pieces and instructions. But anyway, so I strike up this conversation with this guy, and we're talking for a good 5-10 minutes while I'm just buying these two minifigs, and eventually we get around it, and I say, well, if you want to know what I like, here's my video, and I pull up my phone and I show him my Cassiopeia Sierra Lunar Base, which is my default video on my YouTube channel. He goes, ooh, and I go, yeah, that's who I am. And then I ask him, like if you're a Lego fan, Lego Star Wars even, you should go to a Lego convention. He goes, oh, I've been so meaning to get to a Lego convention, but they're always so far away. I said, there's one in Toronto every year. Like, literally, there's one in Toronto every year. Oh, I didn't know that. So Bricks in the Six, blah, blah, blah. So he started talking about that, and I said, look it up. And so that was a very wonderful conversation that I did not start off sarcastically. So that's the point of the entire story. I did not start the conversation off being a sarcastic little whatever. I was genuinely enthused about his enthusiasm for the hobby, and we had a wonderful conversation. So I buy the two minifigs, say bye to him, hey, contact me online if you want to, blah blah. So we go over to the one in Appleby. And Appleby is basically hit and miss. More miss than hit when it comes to Lego. I've had some really good lots, sporadically good lots from Appleby. And all the Lego's always on the walls, which is fantastic for me. So I can really spend my time looking at it and not feel like again, so here's a quick tangent on this. I always feel like and I shouldn't, because they get paid to be there. I always feel like I'm taking their time to sit there while I'm looking at all the bags of Lego when they're pulling it from behind the counter for me to look up, and then they have to put it all back. They pull 15 things off the wall. Now again, it's not their fault. It's whoever's managing that particular store that wants to put the Lego behind the counter. I do have my nefarious ideas as to why they do it that way. I think they don't want it to sell so the owner can take it home after 2 weeks, because I think there's a rule in Value Villages where the people who work there are not allowed to buy. Because if when I retire, I would work at Value Village, and anytime a Lego set came in, Lego lot came in, I'll put that aside for me. I haven't mentioned it a few times for them, and we can't do that, we have to wait. So anyway, so my nefarious understanding, my nefarious idea is that the people who work there are not allowed to grab the lots as they come in and take them home and pay for them and take them home. They have to put them up on the shelves. And so I think in the guy who puts on this specific store that all the Legos always behind the display case is just waiting until the 2 weeks goes by and grabs them and takes them home. They have various justifications as to why they do X, Y, and Z, but whatever. Anyway, so we go over to Appleby, and all the Legos always on the wall. And I always go right over there. See the naked dolls. I don't know why Value Village takes all the clothes off the dolls. You go past that. It's like, anyway, and you get to the other ones with all the superhero minifigs, or the superhero action figures and blah blah blah, and the Fisher Prices and whatever. And today there was like 6 or 7 bags, but it was 90% Mega Block and other garbage. Absolute garbage. There was some Lego mixed in there. Like somebody, so from what I saw, they had one box come in and they just broke it up into 7, 8 smaller bags, and 90% of it was not Lego. And I said, not remotely interesting. The Lego that was there was not remotely interesting to me. But I'm looking at the bags, and I stop, and I was just walking away, and a person walks up beside me and looks at exactly the same bags I just looked at. And so, oh, okay. So I decided, for me, it was just kind of like a stepping out of my comfort zone. I strike up a conversation with the guy, a complete stranger, never met him before. Oh, yeah, I said, it's not hardly any Lego in there. That's the first thing I said to him. Hardly any Lego in there. He goes, yeah, I can see that. And then the conversation went on from there. So I wasn't being sarcastic. I was just trying to be a little bit helpful, whatever. That the bags did not contain a lot of Lego. But he goes, yeah, I can see that. And then he's looking at the other bags and then going, so are you a fan? He goes, yeah, I live out in Mississauga and blah, blah. So he talks to me about going to the stores in Mississauga and rarely finding anything. And again, his easy place to pick up used Lego is on the Facebook marketplaces, same as me. But he does every couple of weeks go to the Ollie Villages. And I said, this is exactly what I do. And I said, for me, because again, I don't make this a secret. I've had friends and family tell me that I shouldn't keep on telling people how to get used Lego because then it cuts into the used Lego that I can get. And I can't, I'm not selfish, first of all. And I have enough, secondly. So there's that. But if I'm here to share, quote unquote, if you want to take it in this way, I'm here to share the wealth of my understanding, which is limited, pretty much. But if I say, and again, my friends always tell me that they go to their value village, and there's hardly ever once a year they find a lot in a Lego lot in their value village, and they never, like, on any given day find it. Sandy and I were at our value village a week ago, and there was not one brick in the store, and that surprised me because there's always Duplo, there's always some Quattro sometimes, but I usually find some Lego somewhere in the store. And the last time, and I didn't put a lot of effort into it, but I go to my usual haunts, my usual spots, and there was not one brick in the entire store. I'm going, oh, that's a surprise. So, and that's just ours over in Stony Creek. But as I say, if we hit all the stores, we hit Stony Creek, we hit Ancaster, we hit Waterdown, and then we hit Appleby. So the four of them do that little loop. And sometimes, again, we'll stop by the one in Harvester in Burlington, and sometimes we'll stop by the one in Wentworth, Upper Wentworth. So there's 6 of them within like a half an hour drive of doing the whole circuit if you just go to every one. But of course, we take our time, and Sandy's looking for clothes. Sometimes they go into hardware, whatever. So it's a good morning. It's a waste of just driving around, and sometimes you find something really unique. I found my tripods there. I found some other things there that I needed around the house. Blah blah. So it's a morning out every other week, and so I hit 6 of them, and there has not been one time when I hit all of them that there's not at least one store that has Lego in it. So it's fine. And but I am also at the point now where I stop buying unless it's something really interesting to me, like, again, 2 classic space minifigs, or something thereof. But I really enjoyed it, and today especially, and I don't know if it was just fate or serendipity or whatever, because I was thinking about my friend Megan at the haircutting salon where I was being sarcastic, and I said I shouldn't have done that. Today was the first time in literally forever that I ran into people that wanted to strike up a conversation about the chosen hobby that we all love and adore, and finding Lego at Value Villages and all the different various aspects of the bags and blah, blah, blah. And like, it was wonderful conversations I have with 2 people today. And so I'm going to keep on running on that. I'm going to keep on, not necessarily, hey, let's talk Lego, walking with a megaphone, hey, whoever wants to talk Lego can talk Lego. But if I meet somebody and they're looking at the same bags I am, hey, how's it going? Years ago, so there's a tangent on that one. Years ago, Sandy and I would always find Lego at our Stony Creek Valley Village, like literally all the time, every time we went. And it was good Lego for me. This is like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe more than that, 6 or 7 years ago. And we would necessarily usually buy it. There was one time, there was behind the counter for a change, there was 3 Rubbermaid totes of Lego, and they wanted $150 for it. And I said, I'm not paying that. Okay, then I'm more sorting. But we would, then there was a bit of a dry spell. But the dry spell wasn't, it was basically, we found out later it was caused, there was another fan of Lego that would, beat us to it, basically beat us to the punch. And we found out that for whatever day we were going on, he'd always be there the day before, a couple days earlier, and grab the Lego out of there. And so, but that stopped because we usually go on a Saturday, not every Saturday, but on every second or third week. And I guess he changed it to Friday or Thursday. The other guy that was found, because a few times we would actually meet each other, and he'd be grabbing all the Lego off the wall, and we chat. And so that lasted a couple 6 months, maybe a year, where every time we went, there was no Lego at all in the store, and I just assumed he was grabbing it before we got to it. But that since again, there was besides this week or last week when there was absolutely no Lego there, maybe he's back. We'd always find something, but I usually leave it now, unless it's has really cool pieces that I want. If it's basic, or if it's friends, or if it's whatever's anything in the last 20 years, unless it's really cool pieces, I'm not interested, and I'll leave it for the next guy. And that's been working well for me too. So all in all, the used market, as I say, marketplace, if you look hard enough and long enough, you'll find something that you want. I just have my specific criteria on my Facebook marketplace: Lego Vintage, Lego Space. Those are the two criteria that I have. And of course, if you just search for those, it shows you basically everything else, but it always puts those at the top. And even today, I say, oh, this guy has three base plates. Two are classic plates. One's a crater plate and one's a landing pad, but the other one is that gray sidewalk, that angled sidewalk, and there's pen on it. There's pen on some of the base plates, and he wants $50. He wants $50 for 3 base plates that are well used. I'm going, no, pass. And again, as you saw in my other video, I don't need base plates. I really don't need base plates at all. But sometimes the numbers are not justified. I at the point when I saw the ad that my friend sent me, that I had already seen before, but I was very happy he sent it to me just in case I missed it. The person wanted $150. I mean, they were here in Hamilton, so I wouldn't have to drive far. There's a lot right now. It might be sold by the time you see this video, but there's a lot right now up in Orangeville where the person's charging $10 a bag, $10 per baggie, and she has like 2 big Rubbermaid totes, and it's perfectly up my alley because I see the blue train track with switches, which I always like, and there's classic space parts in there, which I always like, and it does come with my friend even pointed this out, it comes with the 4x4x2 cones. There's a picture of a 4x4x2 cone, you can see it right on top. I'm going, it could be a Renegade, it could be something else, but there's 2 big Rubbermaid totes, and I sent him a text. I said, how much for all of it? They said $950. And I'm going, that's justifiable at $10 a pound, because there's like lots of pounds. But I said, for me though, there would be nothing in there that I don't have already. If again, I come back to, and I mentioned this past year, that my criteria, money, time, and space, money, time, and space, is my limiting factors. And again, money, I don't know where this is coming from, by the way. We're fine financially. It's just that I am becoming, I think the older I get, the more, I won't say this nicely, the more Dutch I'm becoming. Because I am Dutch. The more Dutch I'm becoming when it comes to spending money. I didn't put a lot of effort into debating whether or not something should be purchased or not before. Just the thought came across my head, I would buy it, and this is how I have 3,000 4x9 wing plates. Just send them to me because I'm going to build something with them. I didn't put a lot of extra effort into, do I really need it? Do I not? And it has nothing to do with financial instability. It just has something to do with I want to save my money for something else. So I do try to, in the past year, as I say, I've let bags of Lego go by, left them on the shelf at Value Villages and marketplace lots go by that were somewhat interesting to me, but not passionately interested to me. And very few regrets about letting them just go past because, again, I have what I have. So I don't get everything, and it comes down to that balance of money, time, and space. And if you saw my video that I posted, which will be dropped tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, but you'll see that video would have been already released by the time you see this video, because I'm doing whatever. I don't have a lot of space in here. I really don't have a lot of space in here, and more importantly, and I want to be very clear about this, I don't want more space in here or anywhere else for my collection. I do not want my collection to get bigger, because I'm finding it took me a long time to clean up this room. The more pieces you have, the longer it takes to maintain that collection. And this is why I do want to downsize. It's the space. If I had a bigger house, I would want to, and I'm not sure if it would actually come to pass, but I would want to still limit my collection to what it is now, or even make it smaller, because it's too much. Honestly, it is too much. And again, it comes down to, like, how am I going to downsize this nicely, without me feeling I'm being taken advantage of, and without the other person feeling like they're being taken advantage of. So that's my ongoing problem. So buying 2 minifigs today is not going to make any drop in the bucket here. Buying 2 totes of Lego that I already have, just having better space, because the Lego looks really good. The parts look really, really good. And I could make a lot of videos on it. But yeah, time to make videos. Of course, I'm already 32 minutes in this one. I don't want to be beholden to this hobby, time-wise, space-wise, or money-wise. I don't want to. I want to be as free as possible with this hobby, to come and go as I please, post videos whenever I want, whatever I want to, whatever I'm interested in to talk about or to build or to show off. I don't buy things now that say, "Oh, I'm buying this specifically to make a video about it." Like we bought that bonsai tree in the used section a long time ago. I didn't buy it for a video, but I got to make a video on it. So it's a secondary, it's a tertiary goodness to buying my stuff. And even this guy, forgetting that I had all the pieces, most of the pieces, that I could build another Renegade. Tertiary is the video. The video is the last thought. Although I will say, when I bought these guys and I got them in the car, I said, I get to go home and make a video about them. But it wasn't the main impetus. It wasn't the main drive for me to buy 2 Classic Space minifigs. I bought 2 Classic Space minifigs because I want 2 Classic Space minifigs. But Dave, you already have so many white minifigs. Yes, I do. And I got one more. And I have, maybe it doesn't over there. As for the yellow guy, I have to find pants. I don't think. Oh, here we go. There's a completed guy. Yay. And so I will say, I'm going to probably do a Bricklink order pretty soon. I do not have any yellow pants, any solid yellow legs without prints on them, because I used them all up in layout. So, but anyway, 30 minutes. I think that's a good haul. And I think I stayed on topic as much as possible. And I'm going to wrap this up. I really do appreciate the people I met today. I thought that was quite neat. I really do appreciate the fact that it came at a time when I was at the point where I felt a little bad about my sarcasm earlier, my sardonic attitude. I think the word sardonic, but sarcastic attitude for sure. to a good friend. So, I will say I am the kind of person that when I do something that I think is, and it's usually after the fact, I think that was a misstep of mine. It festers in my head for a while. I do remember some missteps in my entire life with close friends and even acquaintances that I've known for a long time where I felt I stepped on their toes, and they would tell me they don't even remember the conversation, but I somehow replay it in my head. It's just something I've always done. Um, but in the end, life goes on. I'm not going to beat myself up over it. But I did really enjoy today the serendipitous coincidences of meeting two people at two different stores where I got to talk about my chosen hobby and they got to talk about their chosen hobby. And we got to share our mutual joy of this hobby. Two complete strangers. And I really, really appreciated that. And I'm looking forward to doing more of that. Not necessarily quote unquote outreach, because again, that's more whatever. I'm not here for outreach, but I'm here for conversations about the hobby. And again, one of my favorite parts of the hobby is shows. And the reason why one of my favorite parts of the hobby is shows is because I get to talk to a lot of people over a weekend about this hobby and relish in their enthusiasm of it, and watch the joy in their faces when they're looking through all the stuff that we're displaying. I guess so. That's even today the joy and appreciation of this hobby that I saw today was just like what I see at shows when I get to talk to people at shows. So it is a win-win. And in the end, life goes on, and I want everybody to be safe and happy in 2025. So I'm sure we'll talk more. Everybody out there, stay safe, and I will talk to you soon.